Federal government approves new leather and leather product policy for the country.
We want to prepare our nation so that we'll be in the position to finish our leather in terms of processing it.
President Buhari launches 2019 Armed Forces Remembrance Emblem Appeal Fund.
Let us put Nigeria first and realize that in every contest there must be one winner.
Campaign expenditure in focus as NIBS holds capacity building workshop for political parties ahead of the 2019 elections.
And on Good Morning Nigeria today, our focus is on the Shiites and Nigeria's national security.
For a few years now, people in the northern part of Nigeria have continued to groan under the activities of the Shiites sect.
Now, states such as Kaduna, Kano, and of course the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, have been hit by the activities of the sect, who engage in processions from one city to another, especially during their festivities.
However, the traditional procession turned violent in the last few years. You may recall that the sect attacked the convoy of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai in Zaria, Kaduna State in December 2015. Now, that indeed led to the arrest of the leader of the movement, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky.
And since then, Joy, the activities of the site assumed what has been described as a dangerous dimension as their members continue to agitate for the release of El-Zakzaky and in the process unleash mayhem on citizens, especially security officers on lawful duty.
Now, Kingsley, what is more worrisome is the shift of their activities to the seat of the federal government. Talking about Abuja now, the sect has turned Abuja into a haven where they carry out protests and processions in various parts of the central business area, attacking even armored vehicles.
Joy, just 4 days ago, members of the movement engaged in military personnel at the Karuyanya axis of the Federal Capital Territory, during which there were some casualties on both sides. And of course, last weekend, we also saw what happened at Zuba, which is on the outskirts of Abuja city itself, but just bordering Suleja, where members of the sect also clashed with security forces.
That's right, Kingsley. Now, according to the Nigerian army, 3 members died in the encounter. Talking about the one along Karo now, while some soldiers too sustained injuries.
Well, that wasn't all, as members of the Shiites also had an encounter with the police the following day, in which they burnt down a police patrol vehicle right in Abuja city.
Well, Kingsley, the police were on top of the situation as they apprehended 400 of the members for alleged disturbance of public peace and arson, while 31 others were caught with petrol bottles and various dangerous weapons.
So one question to ask is, what level of threat do the Shiites pose to Nigeria's national security? And how should the security agencies, as it were, deal with the situation before it gets out of hand? There are many more questions to pose, as we will, of course, be engaging as guests in our conversation segment to discuss the Shiites and Nigeria's national security. This is Good Morning Nigeria, reaching you as always on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. My name is Kingsley Osadolo, and I welcome you to today's edition of the program.
And I am Joy Usiago. I also join my colleague Kingsley to welcome you to today's edition of the program. As I said, reaching you live from the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA, Africa's largest television network. And as usual, we shall present our companion segments, which include newspaper review, business, sports, foreign and entertainment news. But first, let's take the morning news with one of our colleagues, Stella Inamiti. Hello, Stella.
Thank you, Joy. Good morning, and here is the morning news. The federal government has approved a new leather and leather product policy for the country. This is to enable Nigeria harness the abundant leather resources across the country for the sustainable economic growth and development. Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, announced this while briefing journalists after the meeting of the Federal Executive Council.
Our nation so that we'll be in the position to finish our leather in terms of processing it and then use that leather in production of finished leather products.
Political actors in Nigeria have been charged to exercise decorum in their conduct and utterances ahead of the 2019 elections in order to preserve the unity of the country for sustainable growth and development. President Muhammadu Buhari gave the charge at the launch of the 2019 Armed Forces Remembrance Emblem Appeal Fund.
Let us put Nigeria first and realize that in every contest there must be one winner. Having resolved to remain one united, indivisible, and indissoluble nation.
The Nigerian Army has recovered the remains of the missing retired Army General Idris Alkali in an abandoned well in Gushwet in Shen district of Jos South local government area of Plateau State. Garrison Commander 3 Division, Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Umar Mohammed said one of the suspects earlier declared wanted, who submitted himself to the Nigeria police, led troops to the abandoned water well.
And based on that, he was actually relocated into an abandoned well, which is behind me here. We came here this morning, we drained the water, and we are being able to salvage the body, the remains of General Kali. Okay? And I can tell you that this means the first two aspects are completed.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has met some critical APC stakeholders in furtherance of strategic engagements aimed at putting the governing party in good stead for the 2019 elections.
Remain a friend to these governors. I respect them. I appreciate them. I even appreciate them for the fact that, but for their support, I will not be chairman.
We all have to respect the party's supremacy. Party is supreme. Party must be respected.
Money spending in elections is seen as an investment waiting to be recouped. At a capacity workshop for political parties in Abuja, the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies believes that this societal ill common with Nigeria's political space must not be allowed to thrive.
Process in our electoral process. So if we don't cap it, we don't cap it and look for a proper way to manage that process and stop vote buying, stop inducement of voters, then we will not have the best stand in government.
We must begin to focus our attention on the generality of the citizens rather than to individuals. That way we'll be development focused in terms of what we do.
The organized labor says it will not accept the 22,500 naira new national minimum wage as proposed by the Governors Forum, describing it as a mere pronouncement which has no place in the collective bargaining agreement. Labor, while responding in Abuja to the position of the Governors Forum, says the forum is not part of the agreement reached by the tripartite committee, which has 6 governors representing the 6 geopolitical zones.
What the law recognizes is a tripartite negotiation. This forum that made this statement have no legitimacy whatsoever. In the context of collective bargaining process, in the context of law, let therefore individuals say go back and gather their workers and tell them what they will be willing to pay, and they will see the reaction of workers. This, I think, will be a position that will put the whole of this argument into context, and everybody will realize the position where he stands.
It recalls that the review of the new minimum wage has been due since 2016, and this should not be the time for government at the state level to try to disrupt the collective bargaining agreement of 30,000 naira as new minimum wage. And that's the news for now. Good Morning Nigeria continues with Joy and Kingsley after this break.
Unemployment, notably youth unemployment, features strongly in our party's manifesto. We intend to attack the problem frontally through revival of agriculture.
The 30K is going a long way. Actually, I bought an acre of land for 60K like 2012, and presently I have a cassava farm and a yam farm.
Reorganized, trained, and fully equipped. We are the new improved Nigeria Police Force. We fight crime. We bust syndicates. Whatever the crime, wherever the hideout, the Nigeria Police Force will get you busted. Stop kidnapping, armed robbery, murder, pipeline vandalism, and other criminal activities. Be productive. Be security conscious. Join the police force to secure your life and property. This message is from the Nigeria Police Force Public Relations Department.
Team huddle.
But we lost.
Don't be tired, guys. This isn't a loss. It's a practice for winning.
Nothing makes a mother prouder than seeing her child growing up. But I know as he learns to lead, he'll face even more dirt, germs, and risk of illness.
That's why in changing seasons, you need strong Dettol protection. Because Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Kehinde suffers from indigestion. His twin Taiyi suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around, or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
Your favorite Maggi star now wears a new look. Its great taste and quality still remain the same. With Maggi, every woman is a star.
Don't you know? Time that money, so use that word. Don't you know? I will never let you down. Just a little love, just a little giving. Show some love.
Enjoy free 250 MB every week just by recharging on Airtel Recharge Plus. Dial *479# to know more.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
NTA Television College, Jos, an affiliate of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, is organizing a 2-week course in archival management system of broadcast media. Date 5th to 16th November 2018. Venue NTA Television College, Rayfield, Jos. Course fee 100,000 naira per participant. Accommodation inclusive. The course will equip participants with the techniques of automating recordings, cataloging, and analyzing media for storage and productions. Come and take advantage of this course to sharpen your skills in maintaining, conserving, and utilizing the archival system. For more information, please contact us on the following numbers: 0806 980 9807, 0803 314 4383. TV College Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
What's up?
His friends didn't come.
Hey, let's practice.
But you're going out.
Don't worry about me.
Nothing satisfies a mother more than seeing a child grow up. But I know as he sweats, he'll face the risk of germs which can cause skin irritation.
That's why you need the new best ever Dettol Cool. Its new advanced formulation with extra menthol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs and gives your family icy cool freshness.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Thanks for staying with us on Good Morning Nigeria. We go to our business desk now to join Kunle Adeyeye for stories trending there.
Senior Special Advisor to the President on Economic Matters, Adeyemi Dikpeolu, who spoke on the sidelines of the second Nigeria Housing Finance Conference in Abuja, disclosed that the family home funds will be jointly financed by government and private sector participation. He said government is giving 100 billion naira yearly for the next 5 years with anticipation that it is going to leverage on 1 trillion naira of private resources. He disclosed further that the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing has completed 2,000 houses of 72 units across the country under the Affordability Index with the hope that Nigerians will be able to access them. As regards the issue of high mortgage, Mr. Dikpeolu hinted that the government is making arrangements to ensure cheaper mortgages. On the continental side, Africa's Union Special Envoy for Infrastructure, Raila Odinga, has announced plans for the construction of a 60,000-kilometer road linking Mombasa in Kenya to Lagos in Nigeria as part of the quest to link Africa through modern highways and rail lines. The former Kenyan Prime Minister said linking Kenya to Nigeria via road will be one of his priorities to promote economic growth on the continent. And next is graphic representation of Wednesday's tradings on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. With business news, I'm Kunle Adeyeye.
All right, thank you very much, Kunle Adeyeye, there for the business package on Good Morning Nigeria. Next is a review of the front pages of some of the papers we have with us this morning. As always, Bayo Atoyebe, our newspaper reviewer, is right here with us on the studios for a review segment. Bayo, good morning and welcome.
Thank you, Kinsley. Good morning. Good morning, Joy.
Good morning, Bayo.
Good morning, Nigeria.
All right, you have a number of stories that are come onto the front pages of the papers this morning. Stories on the minimum wage, recovery of the body of the late general, and then, of course, you have politics and politics all ahead of 2019. Let's begin by taking a look at this day newspaper. This day newspaper, above the nameplate, you have the headline, NLC backs out of minimum wage negotiations. It says it's 30,000 naira or strike. And below that, equities market loses 1.8 trillion naira in 10 months. That's on page 8. And below the nameplate as well, you have the headline, World Bank forecasts oil prices to average $74 in 2019. But the lead story is on 2019. That's the Nigerian's general elections. With the headline, again, Buhari appeals to Amosun, Okorocha, Yari, and others not to defect. Says he did his best to ensure free primaries and cautions politicians on divisive statements. And there's another headline there that's almost coming as a rider, but that's immediately below that. It's also on 2019. APC considers Tinubu to chair campaign council with the headline Amechi, rider Amechi to continue as DG. Okay.
All right, let's go quickly to the Daily Sun and see stories trending on the front page. Beside the nameplate, minimum wage crisis deepens, and it comes with a rider. FGNLC rejects governor's offer of 22,500 as Oshibajo economic team meet again. You can get details of that story on page 6. And the lead story for the Daily Sun, missing general's body found in well will get the killers military vows. And below is a picture story of President Muhammadu Buhari with Speaker House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara and Chairman Nigerian Legion Brigadier General Adakole Akba at the launch of the 2019 Armed Forces Remembrance Day Emblem and Appeal Fund in Abuja yesterday. Beside the picture, Buhari sends NHISES on compulsory leave. It comes with a rider, 7-man panel to probe allegation. And below it, 2019, Tinubu meets Buhari, insists PDP will fail.
All right, just before we bring in Bayo, let me take other headlines from the Tribune and the Daily Independent, all related to the national minimum wage. Now, the Nigerian Tribune, below the nameplate of the paper, that's a kicker, minimum wage. Federal government rejects governor's 22,500 naira offer and says it falls below its 24,000 naira proposal. On 65,000 naira we stand. Labour insists. Some others are reporting 66,500, and this day a moment ago was saying 30,000. Strike begins on Tuesday, TUC says. That's for the Nigerian Tribune on the minimum wage. Now, for the Daily Independent newspaper, it's the lead story, and it comes also with a kicker, national minimum wage. Federal government seeks injunction to stop November 6th nationwide strike as Labour shuts out further negotiations, insists on action. Says governors not competent to fix workers' wage. Assas tripartite committee settled for 30,000 naira. Bayo.
Yes, there are 3 running stories there. One on the national minimum wage, one on the national health insurance scheme, and the third on the missing general. Let's start from human interest perspective with the body of General Idris Alikali, missing 58 days ago, had been found from an abandoned well at Guchev in Shem district of Jos South local government area. The search team constituted by the Chief of Army Staff were led to the location by one of the 6 suspects that he declared wanted and who eventually showed up. The Chief of Air Staff gave them 3